We go live, and Brazilian Minister of Foreign Affairs, Mauro Vieira, makes a statement on Amazon Summit.
Republic of Congo, Germany, Norway, also St. Vincent and the Grenadines, the pro tempore presidency. All these countries came together and representative a great list of international organizations and representatives of other entities. The president, the minister of the government of the United Arab Emirates, also the president of the Amazonian Parliament, also the general secretary, Alexandra Moreira. Today morning, I made a history about the following and the representative of the member countries, and then other about the invited countries and the international organizations. Today's meeting was very productive. The Declaration of Belém was approved. It has a little more than 100 paragraphs, and all they are of great interest for the Amazonian community, for education, for knowledge, for joint action against illegal trafficking of wood and minerals, science and technology, health, and all areas of interest. Also, a big important part of his declaration is the knowledge of the Treaty of the Amazonian Treaty. The seat of the organization is in Brazil, and the second level of heads of state and government, we agree that the Amazonian Treaty must be strengthened through a series of missions. All mandates that presidents approved and this provides this treaty with a bigger muscle, the bigger power. We are already doing our part. There was a time for the installation of facilities at national level. A series of initiatives were also debated upon. The Amazon will be an integral part of the action of this treaty and this community. Of course, there were other initiatives we talked about that are contained in the declaration. Now, I don't have them here. This was a great point of coincidence of all presidents. Also, we talked about the sustainable development of the Amazon, always having into account all the inequalities and imbalances we have in these communities living there and around the Amazon. It is very important to say that we had a presidential meeting about the Amazon. The previous three ones perhaps had lesser reach and importance. In this one, we try to include member countries and non-member countries of this Amazonic Treaty. The Democratic Republic of Congo and Indonesia. These countries also have tropical forests and rainforests. We need common action to better examine the situation with countries that also possess big forest areas. All the countries were also invited. Other two countries. They are very interested in all these questions. All international organizations are involved. The United Nations, FAO, the General Secretary, the Secretary of United Nations for the agreements on climate change, the Fund for the Environment, the Environmental Fund of the United Nations, and also, I already mentioned the Amazonian Parliament. Then, thus the general picture of what we have done and what we did today. The meeting of ministers will be held at a presidential level. At the end of this meeting, a declaration, the text of a declaration about the forest will be approved. That's the program. President Lula worked very hard for the organization of this event, for this meeting of the Amazonian Court. He announced two big initiatives. The project of summoning all these actors, and happily we are going to be able to do it within the agreed timetables. There has also been a very hard diplomatic work of the Latin American group in the Brazilian candidacy. There is going to be an announcement. It is already official in Brazil. Brazil had bigger votes, and this will be included in the documentation. I just wanted to add that the participation in this meeting is very important at presidential levels of because it also had the participation of social societies. On Sunday, we had dialogues, Amazonic dialogues, very intense. More than 400 events, actually, and meetings. Every area had 6 representatives. Together with the heads of states of the Amazonic Treaty. The meeting of heads of states mobilized a lot of opinions and peoples. It covered every area and had the participation of native peoples. They are covered every area, education, health, environment. This was organized by a lot of ministers and personnel involved with the presidency of the Republic. That was what I wanted to say. What has happened, what happened today, and how tomorrow is going to be. Good afternoon, Minister. I would like to know about the structures and if Belém is answering to the expectations of the federal government of Brazil. I had the pleasure of knowing Belém before. Unfortunately, I don't have a lot of free time to visit the city as often as I wanted. The city has every possibility. It is a state that has a very rich cuisine. This is going to awaken the curiosity of every participant in this event. That's why we wanted to make this meeting here in Belém. So we had certainty that the city would be able to meet every expectation. Good afternoon. From Saudi Arabia. Brazil is coming closer to a lot of countries of the world, even Arab countries. How do you think these relationships with all these countries can help the Amazon? And how do you believe Brazil is ready? How ready do you think Brazil is for next meeting? All these relationships are very favorable for the region and for Brazil, of course. participant agreed that collaboration is paramount. So, Democratic Republic of Congo and Indonesia present here too can also make progress. The United States is also important. We need to make the most of this experience. In only 4 months, this next meeting will be taking place. The president of COP28 is going to talk about it tomorrow. It is very important to know different viewpoints. Without a doubt, the president hopes to take to this next meeting in New York a full relation of these meetings we've been having in the General Assembly of the United Nations about the climate change. This is a topic that is an integral part of all our agendas here. BBC News Brazil. BBC News Brazil. President Gustavo Petro talked about those who denied. Do you think the looking for foreign resources to protect the Amazon will be enough? Do you believe all these topics are relevant? The region, do you believe the region is united enough for COP28? At the end, there were understandings about all these questions. Brazil, since the 70s, began a transition. And this will have a conclusion in the future. From the 70s, we have policies about fossil fuels. We have a way cleaner energy matrix than most countries of the rest of the world. We have all the opportunities of continue growing in this matter about solar energy, and we coincide in this matter with President Petro. Hello, Renata Baranda. I wanted to insist in the question of my colleague. I wanted to know about zero emissions and about the exploration for oil deposits. How can the position of President Petro impact the negotiations? The declaration is very long. I haven't had the possibility of reading all in detail. The position of Colombia is not negative. it is a convergent position, and every country will have to follow their own path. So we don't have a totally oil-dependent energy matrix. So I am certain that our region, united, is going to be able to bring the attention of the world upon the Amazon, so we can organize concrete action. I believe it is very important that we have funds and I believe we need to have a direct activity and impact on the environment. There's a program called Amazon Always. The founding members, the Latin American countries, and finance ministers are very clear about it, about the funding of actions to preserve the Amazon. Thank you very much.
During his speech, Maru said that all these countries came together to protect the Amazon region, and the meeting was very productive. He also pointed out that the representatives of the invited countries have a huge interest in integrating together in different areas such as education, health, and others. The Amazon region will be an important part of action of all communities gathered during the meeting. They also talk about the sustainable development of the Amazon, especially inequality and the imbalance that exists in the Amazon region. He also pointed out that in the previous meeting has led reach and importance. However, in this meeting they included more members, hence the significance, and there were more action must be done in order to achieve the results needed. Moreover, international organizations were also involved, such as United Nations, FAO, Organization on Climate Change, Environment, and others. Furthermore, he stressed that the text of the declaration is going to be approved and that the President Lula worked very hard to have this meeting today. Moreover, he added that the participation of all the people involved is extremely meaningful, especially at all presidential levels. On Sunday, there will be other meetings in which there will be different representatives, and it will include the opinions of all the participants. Every area will be covered, especially education, health, and is going to be organized by several ministers. We have come to the